You know what I hate about being out in public and doing drone work or video work, photo work, is that everybody stares at you. It's kind of like, have you never seen somebody do this before? Maybe around here they haven't, but I'm like at this antique mall right now and this farmer's market. I'm basically like updating the city website and their Facebook and all that. Just getting them some good photos to put on their website to get more tourists, because like this area has been actually voted like top in South Carolina as one of the best places to visit, this small town, and in like Southern Living's magazine as best small towns to visit. But anyway, that's not why you clicked on this video. The reason you clicked on this video is because I've got some things to say. The thing I wanted to talk about in this video is just how the military changed my photography career. So the first thing was getting outside of my comfort zone. And by that, I mean, I joined the military. I left home at 20 and had to explore life by myself, who I had never left home before. So it just changed everything. But quick, before getting number two, we're gonna run over to the farm quick and do some sunset shots, because you can see that sun's starting to set over there, over the mountain. So let's see what that's gonna look like. Quick reminder, make sure you check your batteries before you go out, because I was about to send this thing up and the battery was dead after I already did the other one. So make sure you change it before shoots, because I'm doing a sunset. Look at that view though, right? And I was about to miss it because I almost ended up with a battery that was basically dead. Point number two is it helped me not be introverted. And I'm gonna find my drone while I'm doing this, so I hope y'all don't mind. But the thing about it is, I'm a super introverted person. I hate doing these videos. I'm just doing it to get better at editing videos like I've talked about. But it helped me not be as introverted. And that helps your photography a lot, because it's hard running a business when you're super introverted. Can you do it? Absolutely. But it makes it a little harder. But it helped me kind of get out of my shell a lot. And I've been able to meet more people and talk to more people, because like, it's the military, right? You're forced to. You're forced to do things you don't want to. And that's like part of the reason I joined, was I was like, well, let me get out of my comfort zone. Let me do something, because I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. I was 20 years old. Didn't really have anything going on, working at a couple grocery stores and stuff. I was like, I need to do something. Am I glad I joined? Yeah. Am I glad I got out? Absolutely, I'm glad I got out. But it's one of those things where you're just like, wow, this was a neat experience, you know? But let's give you all that awesome view back there. Look at that mountain back there. Let's give you all that cool view while I'm still doing this, you know? So reason number three, and this was kind of like the big reason, is it helped me learn to love to travel. So in 2013, I went to Scotland with my dad, because he's a pastor and he went over there. So I went on that trip, but I had never really traveled overseas until that point, right? 2015 comes, I joined the military, and it's like, oh, where do you want to be stationed at? You know, you can kind of put your wish list together. And I was like, oh, North Carolina, Virginia, Florida. It blew my mind that I was gonna have to go all the way to England, right? Because I went to Scotland a couple years earlier, right? And I just see that as God's providence. But that's a story for a different time. I would get 3-day weekends a lot because I work night shift. We were working 12s a lot. So when I was working weekend shift, I would do 2 12s and 2 8s, and I would get a 3-day weekend a lot. But the cool thing about it is we didn't have any restrictions. A lot of military bases have restrictions on where you can go, the radius you have to be around the base, and we didn't have that over there. We just had good old be back by Monday, or whatever your next time you had to be to work was. So I got to travel a lot. I've been to over like 50% of Europe. And this is what changed my photography. This is like the main point of this video, was that because of that, I started doing a lot of cityscape work, because I got to travel to all those cool cities. Rome, I got to go to Dubrovnik, I got to go to Amsterdam, all these cool cities, and just visit them. And I started seeing that, oh, it's actually fun to take photos of more than just landscapes. Who doesn't love landscapes? Look at that view. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that view is freaking insane. And the fact that I just get paid to come out here and I can photograph this, you know what I mean? Like, these are peach orchards, right? And you have that huge mountain in the back. But I'm getting paid to be out here. Like, isn't that cool? I think that's cool. But this is kind of the main point of the video, right? Was just that I end up loving traveling. And I got to go to all these cool cities. And that's what kind of made me fall in love with more than just one style of photography, right? Because I liked doing landscapes. I love doing landscapes. I still do. But then I started doing this city work, and I was like, man, this is kind of cool. Like these cityscapes are these old cities. And it got me thinking when I moved to South Carolina, like, why can't I do that with small towns? There's a lot of these small towns that get neglected. You got a lot of those flyover states in the Midwest, but there's what I would call drive-through towns in the South, right? A lot of small towns that people don't even think of. They don't even consider it. They're just like, oh, okay, cool. And you think about it, it's like, you go visit a place for a day and you're like, wow, people actually live in this place? Like, I'm coming to visit for a day, but people have whole lives that go around there, and it blows your mind. And you're just thinking, wow, like, huh, wonder what it would be like if I lived here, but I don't live there, you know? And it just fascinates me. And that's one of the things that like started making me love doing the city stuff. Is that every town, every city has like their own thing they're known for. Especially in Europe, right? You can see, yes, the Romans did a lot of different things, but you can see that the Dutch have their own way of doing things. The Italians have their own way of doing things. You have all these different things. And it just made me realize like visiting places and showing these towns and cities are so cool because you also get to meet a lot of cool people. A lot of people get stationed stateside and they don't get to go over there. And when they get deployed, it's straight to the desert, you know? It's straight to the sandbox and they don't get to see any of this. Versus me, where I gotta go to this cool place. I was stationed outside of London, so I gotta go visit London. I gotta go do all these really cool different things. And let's be honest, up until that point, like I said, even then, I was still doing a lot of landscapes across England, across Scotland when I'd go visit, and some of these other places I'd take the bus and want to go there, or I'd take a ferry or whatever it was. But I finally got to the point where I was like, let me take photos of these cool towns. But it just changed the way I looked at things. It just made me realize like how lucky I was to be able to go and see these cities and towns and document these places that a lot of people didn't get to go and haven't gone. You know, I grew up in Philadelphia and a lot of my friends don't travel. They just choose not to. It's not their thing, whatever it is. And you know, I have some friends I grew up with that have traveled, but a lot of them don't. And that's like the thing I don't get. Instead of going and buying new camera gear, right? If you need it, get it. But go spend money on a plane ticket and go see something. Right? Go see something you're not gonna see in the United States. Or go in the United States and go to somewhere away from where you're at. And that was one of the things that helped me. I just got out of where I was living and changed what I saw, and something like that can change your life. A lot of people don't think about that, but there's a lot that you can go see in other places that you see photos of it and you're like, yeah, one day. It's like, no, not one day. Stop wasting your money on car payments and other stuff and go buy a plane ticket somewhere and go enjoy it for a week or however long you can do it. But like, stop buying crap you don't need. Can you get away with not having that camera lens and going on a trip that might change your life? You know, you might see something or take photos of something you usually don't get to see. But anyway, before I keep ranting about that, it just made me realize there was more out there than just what I was doing. Quick last view. Ooh, look at that. Just look how beautiful this is, right? Just a beautiful sunset. Or maybe you go join the military. Maybe that's what you gotta do and see what that's like. I don't know, but I will be honest. I wouldn't say I had the best time in, wouldn't say I had the worst time in as compared to other people I know, but I will say this. Maybe you join the military if you're on the edge right now and you're trying to decide should you do it, shouldn't you do it. That's completely up to you, but I will be honest. The one thing I did learn in the military, it's kind of like when you have kids and people are like, the days are long, the years are short. With the military, the days are long, the years are long too.